0, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got a new project. Since I got the little white truck pretty much wrapped up, something we've been wanting to tackle is getting a camper or a travel trailer or a motorhome. So I picked this thing up yesterday and it needs a lot of work. So it's definitely a good project. It's got pretty solid bones. It's got a ton of water damage inside. Well, not a ton, but it has water damage inside. But overall, it's not in too bad a shape. It is a Northstar Aero 8.5. As you can see, I'm got the wires out. It didn't come with a battery. It didn't come with a plug to plug it into the house. Nothing. So anyhow, what the plan is with this is we're going to clean it up and use it, and maybe we'll get rid of it, maybe we'll keep it. We're not too sure. As you can see, it's this needs to be gone through. The front nose up here needs to be gone through. It needs to be cleaned up, but at least the electric jacks work. I'm going to go through, put the battery in it, and go through all the systems and make sure they all work properly. So inside, not too terribly bad. There's a shower and a toilet. It does need a little bit of patch up right there. Looks like they had something hard in here floating around when they were traveling, and it beat up that. I'm gonna fix that up. But overall, it doesn't seem to be too terribly bad. I've seen worse. Microwave, fridge is in the back, and it does work. It is a AC DC propane 3-way refrigerator freezer. Here's where the majority of the problem is right here. So this thin ass plywood's got to be changed out because it's like super wet and moldy. And I'm gonna pull this up and then see what the wood underneath of it looks like, and probably replace it as well. So today is just going to be, I got to get the camper off the truck, and then we're going to do investigatory work. I'm going to pop this thing apart, see how bad it is, and get a checklist of stuff that I'm going to need to fix it, and then we'll go from there. But it should be a nice camper. This is the first part, just the basics. So this is on the corner. The square one went up there, and the Phillips head went there. The same thing on this side. And the bottom one is a Phillips. And then those are all Torx. All the way across. And that's a Phillips. Okay, so I peeled the front off here, and then I undid these screws, and now you see why I got such a good deal. Look at that. It's just loaded with water. Oh yeah. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to take the rest of these screws off, and then I'm going to try and take this down and let it dry out a little bit and see what we had to work with. That's quite a considerable amount of water. Wow, awesome. Well, no big surprise. All right, I got these side pieces off. We got these side pieces off, and I just took all these square heads. That one broke and that one broke, and then I'm going to peel this off, and hopefully I can peel the front down. So this thing has some kind of a, looks like, I don't know, some kind of a glue or silicone or something there that I'm going to have to cut through. My Olfa knife blade's so dull, I got to go get one. So I figured what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this top part off and see if I can pull this down a little bit, and maybe do it that way. Get less water down my arm. I got quite the collection of water, and so you guys can see there. Look at this wood here that's underneath. Look at that. It's just saturated in water. Wow, look at that. Anyhow, I'll show you that here in a minute once I peel this panel off. And man, that thing is soaking wet. Awesome. But at least that'll get rid of all this That'll make that all nice and flat again when I'm done. All right, here we go. Just for documentation purposes, this piece goes over the front, the top piece goes on first, then this. Same thing down here, this bottom piece goes on under this. So this lower piece is the last piece to go on the front. Very important. If I clean all this up, I may forget, so we got to make sure that this goes on last. I got that panel off, and well, there's a lot of glue. Whew. Good Lord. Anyhow, so I got that panel off, and this will give you an idea how much glue is in it, and how much glue I got to use to put it back on. So now that I got that out of the way, I need to get this bottom piece off, and so I gotta take all these screws off. At least I'm hoping they're right here. So it looks like those are all Torx all the way around to there. All right, and that's a sheet metal screw, or a hex head. Okay. And this one's a hex head down here, so okay. That's a hex head, and then from here on the bottom all the way, they're all Torx until there, which I'm hoping I don't even have to mess with that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one up. I'm hoping I can just sag this down to get that out. I'm hoping. We'll see. All right, so we got the panel down. That thing is wetter than a hood ornament on a submarine. Oh my golly, look at that thing. Is squishy, squishy, squishy. Hoo-wee. And as you can see, that is also wet. Perfect. Now, I got most of this undone, so I think I'm going to go across the top. We'll get this piece popped off, because it looks really warped too, so I'm assuming that it's waterlogged as well. Yeah, that's wet. All right, so where the hell am I at here? Oh, okay, so I unbolted the jacks. I put a jacks down underneath the front of this thing, unbolted the jack, and then got this trim piece off so that I could pull this down and get access to the rest of the subfloor, and which really wasn't that big a deal. The key part is that there is screws in behind here, so you cannot take this off, even though it looks like you can. You cannot without taking the jack out of the way, which ain't that big a deal. It's only just 3 screws, so I just unbolted it, didn't even unplug it, set it out of the way, boom. So anyhow, I got this loosened up a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll see how far down I can peel this to get access to the rest of this, and we'll see how bad this is. This doesn't seem to be warped, so I'm hoping that that's gonna be all right, and that it's just up here, because that's definitely not all right. That is definitely wet. Was all over the place today, so I didn't film quite like I was supposed to, so I'm just going to give you an update. I got the rest of this cleaned up under here for the most part. I did get the metal brackets there off of both sides on the front. Peeled it back. After this is dried, it really doesn't look terribly bad. It's not rotten or nothing. I mean, for as wet as it was, it's really survived quite well. The only problem child I've seen so far is right here. That is definitely rotten. So we're gonna have to replace that. But the rest of this doesn't look too terribly bad. It's surprisingly not too bad, all things considered. I did put the screw jacks under here last night, and as you can see I let off of this one here, and it really hasn't, it's holding its position well, so it doesn't look like it's super screwed up. So this is a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Boy, what a mess. Whew. Lordy.